Welcome back to Loose Women Live. And your Girl Fridays this week alongside me, Kay Adams, are Denzi Squelch, Kelly Brook and Nadia Sawala. Still to come, presenter and documentary maker Stacey Dooley is here, telling us why she wanted to reveal all of the messy truths of motherhood and admitting why she doesn't really have any mum friends. But it is competition time now. Lines close at 3 p.m. for your extra chances to win. And it's great news because Kate Lawler is in the studio with us. Hi, guys.
It's really nice to be here.
Oh, it's lovely to have you. You're usually somewhere out in the glamorous place, but you're here with some very special guests, aren't you?
I know, I am. Well, it's a big day because we've got our biggest cash prize of the year so far to tell you about. £250,000. Exactly. Oh, there's a Mexican wave coming on. I love the energy. Imagine that, winning £250,000, £250,000 in tax-free cash could be heading into your bank account. Now, I'm also here to tell you about the bonus cash prizes of £10,000. There's 5 of them, and bonus cash prize lines close today at 3 p.m. So up until then, you have 6 chances to win. By entering once, you could win either £250,000 or £10,000. It's a no-brainer. Of course you'd like to win. Now, one of the most common questions I get asked is, yeah, but people don't really win, do they? No, yes, they do. All right, they do. I wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be paying me to be here to tell you about it if they didn't win. And proving it, we're our winners here. Look, we've got winners. These are actual winners. Thanks to ITV Win. First up, we have Brian and Sue. They won 60 grand in cash, a brand new snazzy car and a holiday. Where are you off to?
Maldives.
Give them a Mexican wave. That deserves a Mexican wave. They're going to the Maldives. Angela, how much did you win? £120,000. Anthony and Linda won £10,000 a month for 12 months, a whole year. That's nice, isn't it? Spread out, you don't spend it all at once. And Louise, biggest winner, £1 million. You are sitting with a millionaire. It really could be you winning. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone, get entering. All it takes is one entry and you really could be winning £250,000. Here are all the details.
For this week only, you'll also be entered into a bonus prize draw. There are 5 prizes of £10,000 to be won. Lines close today at 3 p.m. For another chance to win, text cash to 80118. Text costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2.50. Call 09011 209 118. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Bonus 12 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 4th of April at 3 p.m. For a chance to win £10,000, lines close today at 3 p.m. We'll be calling the winners live during Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, This Morning or Loose Women after all entry routes have closed. Good luck!
Now, in the new series of Netflix documentary series Drive to Survive, F1 driver Charles Leclerc has opened up about the moment that he lied to his dying father in 2017. He told him that he'd already signed to drive in Formula One.
He was very honest with me. Unfortunately, he became unwell. We learned that he would not make it, that there was like 2-3 weeks maybe left. I was in Formula 2 at that time, and it's obviously the last step before Formula 1. It was very difficult for me to accept him leaving, not seeing me and him realize that dream. So one day I just lied and told him that I had signed a Formula 1 contract.
Oh. Well, he knew that the news would make his dad happy, and he did eventually make the team. But, well, is it wrong to lie to a dying parent? Actually, when you hear him explain that, I don't know if I would use that word even. It sounds too harsh.
I just think we're just too quick to say what's wrong and right that people do. I think it's up to the individual, and I found that just quite beautiful, actually, him saying that. I'd be fascinated to know how he felt afterwards through the... I mean, did he have any... I don't think he should. I think it's beautiful what he did. But I wonder if he then felt any sort of guilt for it.
I hope not.
I hope not, because I think that was beautiful.
And I hope not, even if he hadn't made it to Formula 1.
Yeah.
I think that he knew. I suppose I get as someone who's not religious that depending on how religious a person is, whether they believe in an afterlife, would that person find out, you know. But I think there is nothing wrong with saying whatever it takes to make that person feel comfortable. I mean, when my dad was dying, having made a recovery and then he got ill again very quickly, And it became obvious on the last day that there was nothing that they could do. And he was quite sort of, oh, look at him, bless him. He was quite sort of delusional. We didn't know how much he could understand, to the point that we do have to laugh about it, because towards the end, two things. One of them, he looked up at me and he said, "Why don't you get rid of that moustache? You've got such a pretty face." Oh. Lincoln immediately, by the other side of his bed, started sending me bearded lady photographs. And the other thing was, he kept going to me, "Shh, he's in there." And I said, "Who?" He went, "Michael Sheen, the actor, with a lion." I said, "Why is Michael Sheen there with a lion?" He went, "Publicity." So we didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
But a friend of ours came in and they went up to him unknowingly and just said, you know, "Bye-bye, Vin." And we went, no, we're not saying that. I'm still at the stage where we knew he wasn't going to rally, but I and my sister and that, we were still saying, you know, "Come on, Dad, you can do it. You know, you can do
So
it."
if he'd asked you, if he'd said
he wasn't
to
in
you,
a position to ask
but if
us.
he had asked, if he'd said, "Do you know how much time I've got at the top?" Would you have told him?
No, not at that stage. I think it very much depends what stage of lucidity.
Yeah, and also the relationships that you have. I mean, what is right for every individual,
I don't think you should ever judge
family
how
and
somebody-
person
yeah.
is. We'll all react differently, won't we? I mean, when you lost your dad, Kelly,
I've asked my mum this. I did say to her after he passed, like, did he know that he was dying? Like, he knew he had cancer, but did he know he was dying? And she went, "No, we never had that conversation."
Oh, really?
That it was going to be, you know, terminal in the end. I think there was always that hope with treatment that he would get better. And I do think, from my experience of death, is that, you know, they hold on for you. And I remember getting the call and my mum was like, "I don't think he's going to make it through the night. You should come home." And I remember driving to my family home and I just had this really profound feeling of like, you know, "It's all right, Dad, you can go. Like, you don't have to hold on. Like, you can go. It's fine." And I think he was holding on
For you to go.
for us to give him permission to go.
Oh, right.
I really believe that.
People
and you
often
hear
say
a
that.
lot about people going, "Oh, I only popped out for a cup of tea and I come back and they were gone." So I don't even think it's a spoken thing. I do think that we, whether you believe in this or not, energetically hold on to loved ones for longer than they really need to be here. Like, sometimes they're just ready to go and you've got to let them go.
You hear it so often, don't you? You hear it from hospice. I follow this hospice nurse, and she talks a lot about that. And certainly with Nanny Thelma, we were all sitting with her for days and, like, taking it in shifts. And I remember the nurse saying, you know, it's probably good that you all go home. You know, it's probably, you know, she's probably waiting, kind of thing. And sure enough, that night when we all left, she died. Now, I get it, because I'm not going to want to leave the room when my family is still there. I imagine that's what it is. And
The one question
We'll never know.
I mean, both my parents are gone, that I would never ask anyone now, particularly after that, is, "Were you there?" Because there is sometimes this thing about, "Were you there?" as if that...
well, like you failed if you
As if
weren't.
that says how much you love the person.
Yeah, there's it's a kind of loaded question sometimes, and it's not actually something you have control over. And it's exactly as you say, Kelly, sometimes somebody could be sitting there for 2 weeks. We sat there for 2 weeks with my mum, and somebody could leave to get a cup of tea or go to the loo or whatever, and then, you know,
You
that
just
they've
don't
gone.
know.
And I don't think people should ever feel that they've missed anything.
Missed that
in
moment,
sense.
exactly.
You know?
I talk about more, I think, about my dad's death because it was considerably recent compared to my mum's, which was like sort of 13 years ago. But in light of what you were saying, when we got the call, because Mum had lived with cancer for 20 years, we got an extra 20 years, which was amazing. But then Dad called one day and said, "I think you should come home," and I did. And she had literally lost consciousness. She had an incredibly special relationship with Matty. And she hadn't regained consciousness at all. Matty went in and she had about 5 minutes of lucidity with Matty. And then once
How
he
old was
left,
he?
he must have been, well, he's 36 now, so early 20s. He wrote a song about her called Nana as well. They had a very special relationship. And Matty went and she never regained consciousness again after that. So there is probably something in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
But you can't judge anybody for how
Absolutely not. You know, just going back to that
I think
piece
it's
there with
wonderful that
Charles
he said
Leclerc,
that.
I thought the way that he spoke, and you could see the love that he had for his father and how special that relationship was. And I think you're right, Kelly, it's often not the sort of things that we say and do. There's an energy, there's a feeling, and all of these things that are less
Well, that's why you
tangible.
should always, you know, tell people that you love them, isn't it? There's a lot of people who say, oh, we're not that sort of family, but they regret it when that person's gone, you know.
Go on, then.
Careful, Kay, you know she can lie about it.
I'm an actress, remember.
Joining us next, Stacey Dooley on what she calls messy motherhood and why her new documentary series has led her to believe it is dangerous to be a woman. Loads to discuss with Stacey next.